Good morning. It is Cheryl, your favorite accountant tax strategist here to guide you along the path of finding hidden money in your business. And I just want you to remember that while I love to help you find these deductions, these expenses, it's just general information until you talk with your accountant, in particular regarding how your situation fits this information. Okay, so if you need an accountant that you have access to on a regular basis, join my membership for only $47 a month, or let's have a consultation call and see how these things fit your business. And with that, let's talk today about home office. What does it mean? How does it apply? And what things might you be missing? Good morning, Dawn. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Heather. Good morning, Robin. Good morning, Vic and Kimry. Oh my goodness, good morning. Good morning, everyone. I am so thrilled to see you guys this morning. I am just waking up. Joey and I guess we really kind of all had a rough night. I'm struggling to move at all this morning, but Lisa needs coffee. And I don't share my coffee lately, so you know. Heather says, same, need a gallon. Lisa says, thank you, girl. Yummy chicory. Absolutely. Now, it's not straight chicory. I do chicory coffee. So, sup, brew? So, let's talk about home office this morning. Good morning, Elaine. How are you? Lisa, same, Heather. Don't think I can wait the 2 hours before I start today. Well, I was awake for 2 hours and then I was asleep and then I was awake and then I was asleep and then I was awake. And so the latest episode of me being awake was not for 2 hours. So it can take a flying leap this morning because I needed it. Yeah, right? Yeah, it was not a good night. Joey had a rough night. Wilson decided he was going to come get in the bed with me, and like he got right here. And so he would dream and his back feet would come around and push on me. And then James was down here, and he is a bed hog, and he would flip around, and then all 4 feet, like he'd dream and he'd be running and kicking me. And then Joey was having a rough night, so he got up from Steve. He left Steve and came and got in the bed with me and was at my feet for a while. And then he got up and, like I said, he wasn't sleeping last night. So he had a rough night. But when he finally came back, because he sleeps on top of the sheet, but under the covers with me. So I held up the covers on the other side. Like the boys are over here. So he's over here, and I held up the cover and he jumped in and curled up, and so we were kind of like I was spooning him and put the covers over him, and he went back to sleep, and I was able to comfort him through his bad times. And so he did finally get some sleep, but he's still not doing too good this morning. So, but I gave him his CBD and I gave them all their MSM. So hopefully he will be feeling better in a little bit. All right. Back to the topic. Home office. So a couple things that you should know. If you are a reseller and you have some type of building that you rent for work, you still want to maintain a home office. You maintain a home office, and that gives you space with which to deduct a portion of every household bill that you have. Okay? Anything that it takes to keep your home in good working order is deductible to a percentage based on the amount of space used. So I often joke that I'll tell you that part in a minute. Tell me to remind you of the joke once I talk about garages. So that space has to be dedicated office space, right? It can't be multi-use space. You need dedicated office space. The best that you can do, if you don't have a room that is dedicated to your business, then the best that you can do is the space that like your desk takes up. Working from the dining room table doesn't cut it. So you need to keep these things in mind when you're figuring out what to do for your home office. So if you have an outbuilding or a garage and it is permanently affixed to the ground, so you can't just, not you by yourself, but it can't just be picked up and moved. Then that other space can also be used as your home office. If you have a piece in the house that you have dedicated to your business, like it can't be used for something else. For example, if you have a dining room table in the dining room and you can clean all your stuff off out of the room and then have a dinner there with people, then it's not your home office. That's the rule right there. It has to be a dedicated space. So, for example, if I had this desk in my dining room and I used my dining room table for part of my business, I could only count the area that I'm sitting in, the area that the desk is taking up and my chair is taking up. That's it. I can't count the area that's the dining room table. If you have a desk in your bedroom, which I see a lot of people have, especially resellers, you can't take the area outside of your desk. Like I see a lot of people that are taking pictures on their bed. Please straighten your sheets out before you do that, and make sure that they're clean and no spots on them. But you can only take the area where your desk is. Okay, you can't take the whole room. You can't take the closet. You can't take the bed. If you have a guest room in your house and you have a desk and you have stuff set up in there, but there's also a bed in it, you can't take the whole room. Move the bed. Move the bed out, and then you can take the whole room. I will leave that to you all to figure out how exactly to do that. Nobody's coming to your house. But if you were required to show proof, how would you show your proof? What would you have to do? I don't know anybody that has ever had to show proof. However, resellers do tend to use a whole lot of space in their house. So consider what you need to do to make sure that there's never a question. Okay? All right. So there we go. So next is garage and or permanently attached outbuilding. Permanently attached outbuildings are treated the same as a garage. If you have products you sell and or sales materials, and this is like verbatim, and anything in your home, then you can take any space in the house that is used to store those items. So I'm taking a step back for a minute. For example, my reseller crew, if you have shelves set up in your living room, you can't take the whole living room, but you can take the area that the shelves are set up where you're storing your product. If you store anything whatsoever related to your business out in the garage or the outbuilding, you can take the entire square footage of the garage and or the outbuilding. Those amounts must be added to the square footage of the house. So let's see if I have, yep. So I'm going to share my screen right quick. And so this is my workbook. Most of you all are familiar with it. But you see where it says, where I have here 2,000 square foot. So that would be if you had a 2,000 square foot home. And then let's say that you had a 12 by 20 garage. So that would be another 240 square foot garage. So if you are storing anything whatsoever out in the garage, then you are able to take the garage also. All right. So then what we would do is we would look at, okay, how much space are you using inside the home? Let's say you have a 12 by 12 bedroom that you have converted into your office. So there's your 144 square feet for that, plus the 240 square feet for the garage. That means you are using 17% of your home. All of these items over here are just examples of things that you might be able to deduct. If you own your house, you want to figure out what the fair market value of the home was when the business started, and you want to know how much of it was just land. If you do any major improvements to the property, those things need to be separately put somewhere so that they can be depreciated on their own. Then you just figure out what it is that you spend money on inside of your house. Most of us have electric and water. You might have gas, trash, a house phone, home mortgage interest, rent, homeowner's insurance or renter's insurance, some type of alarm, security system, ring camera, HOA fees, repairs and maintenance. You know, do you have somebody that comes and mows your grass, pressure washes your house, does pest control? Do you have someone that comes and cleans? All of these things can be deductible up to, tree service. Tree service. Can be deductible up to whatever the business use of your home percentage is. So if you want to also have a home office for another reason, if you have a storage unit that you typically work out of, then, or, you know, some type of space that you typically work out of, you also want to maintain an area in the house, because if you have a home office, that's where your mileage starts from. If you don't maintain a home office, then your mileage doesn't start until you get to that other location. Everything that you would do would be from the other location. And so you want to maintain a home office so that all of your miles starts from there, so that you are able to capture the miles from your house to this other location, right? So no matter what you do, what other place you rent, you also want to make sure that you are maintaining an area inside your home that is at least the size of your desk. So just so that you can calculate your miles from home. Good morning, Larry. Lisa says, I have a storage unit that has some stuff to see, but it is commingled with personal and won't be listed until I finally get to it. It's lots of family stuff from members no longer living. It's not commingled, though. Lisa, it's all in how you look at it and all in how you word it. All of the items that are in there are intended to sell. You're intending to sell them. It is all for your business. Yes. So everything that's in there is, it's basically, it's your money pile, right? So it's all, everything in there is going to get listed at some point in the future. And when those things get listed, you can, the things that were inherited have the cost basis of whatever it would have cost you to buy it at the time it was inherited. So do we have any questions about home office deductions this morning? I was going to tell you guys a joke. Not a joke, really. But I, based on these rules, I have often joked that if I was going to build a house, I would build a huge garage with a small little bitty house attached to it or on the same property. And in the house, I would have, you know, I wouldn't have to even have an office in the house. I could do all of it from the garage. But let's do it like this. So let's say that the total square foot of the home was 350. Heather says a ring home with a garage. I don't know. Oh, a tiny home with a garage. Right. And the garage is 2,000 square foot. And then let's say I don't use any space inside the home. Whoops. See the difference? Now I'm using 85%. 85% of all. Can we have two? One for reselling, one for videos. So Robin is asking, can we have two home offices, one for reselling and one for videos? So here's the thing. If you are ready to separate your Schedule Cs, right? As of right now, Robin, you're not separating the two. Until you get monetized on the videos, we're not separating your videos from your reselling. But once you get monetized, you absolutely can separate them. And then when you separate them, let's say that the space where your desk is, you use for reselling, doing all your listings, things like that, but you also use it for editing your videos, then you're going to have a home office expense for each one of them. Now, your reselling is probably going to be larger because you have the space where your desk and stuff is, plus you have the space where you take your pictures and storage and things like that, right? Then it will be for your videos. But each one of the Schedule Cs will get its own home office deduction. Lisa says, I'm approximately 33%. Oh, I forgot the shop shed. Okay. So yeah, if it is permanent, so here's the difference. If it's permanently attached to the ground, then you can use it as square footage. If it's not permanently attached to the ground, then you can use whatever you paid for it, like as a one-time write-off. Lisa says it's got AC attached to it and wired. Okay. I would say that that's probably, it's permanently attached enough. Like I have a shed out back that we brought in on a truck. We put cinder blocks down. We built the floor for it. But we could, with enough people or the right equipment, we could pick it up and move it to another spot in the yard because we've been talking about it. Great. Now it's 38%. Wonderful. Yes, you can do the same with a house with the right equipment. True statement. True statement. So I'll leave the argument up to you. I'm just telling you how it's written in the code. And again, they're only going to send you a letter. It's up to you to provide the proof that they ask for. Yeah, pest control. Pest control can go in the home office deductions. Absolutely. All of it. Outside pest control, inside pest control. So just remember, always have a home office. That's where your miles start. And now that you're thinking about the home office, I want everybody to go into your home office today and take a really good look around your space. Really good look around your space and see what do you have in your space that maybe you haven't written off already. Let me add another caveat to this. If you don't own your house and you're not technically renting your house because you live with family, you can still have a home office deduction, even if you're not the one paying for the bills. You just need to know what the bills are. And you can get a home office deduction too. Lisa says, I bought supplies to trap and spray to deter. I put under expenses. Should I move that to home office expense? Yes. Yes, that should be put to. Well, okay. Is it specifically for your space? Your office space? Because it's if it's specifically inside of your office space, then or around your shed outside, then yeah, you could just put that into supplies, into your regular supplies. Oh, Lisa says I shoot outside and got freaked out. It's crazy. Yeah, I would get freaked out with that too. Vic says, how I'm living with mother-in-law. Well, I told you how. I told you how. You just have to get the bills. And you didn't want to. You just have to know how much each thing that gets spent. So if you know what the bills are, you're only getting a portion of it and you're using the portion of it. That's the key. You're using a portion of the lights and the water and the this and the that, all the things, right? You're using a portion of that. That's why you can take a portion of it for your business, even if you're not the one paying for it, because you are using a portion of it. Now, if you want to take that portion that you're using and then pay it back to the family member that's actually paying for it, then that's up to you. But the key is The business is using it. Therefore, it is deductible to the business. But you have to have a dedicated office space too, at least a desk. Not sitting at the dining room table, not sitting in a recliner with your laptop, not sitting cross-legged on a bed. You have to have a dedicated space. It doesn't have to necessarily be a desk. If you want to set up a table somewhere and put your stuff on it and say, this is my space, then even if it's 4 square foot, it's still a dedicated space. It's not going to be much in the grand scheme of things, but it's still a dedicated space, and it still at least gets a little piece of all of the bills, and it starts your mileage from the house. Vic says the pantry space too. If you all have not followed Vic on YouTube yet, go do it. It's funny because she's got these videos and she's been improving on them, and it was all about cleaning out her mother-in-law's pantry. And so she's got me, like, I've gone to where, like, I'm using everything up I had in the house before I go buy any more groceries. It had Robin looking at all of her spices and stuff. So yeah, it'll make you think. And she's got an app that she found that she's using. Lisa says, I love that spice meme. So true. All right, y'all, I have to run. I have a call in 10 minutes, and I need more Java. So I will see you all tomorrow morning. Thursday and Friday morning will be on location. I think I've done calls from there before. I must have done calls from there before. But I will be in Fairfax, Virginia. Wednesday evening, Thursday, Friday, Saturday morning. So if you're anywhere around there, hit me up. Have a good one. Have a great day. Bye.